Hi everybody, this is David T from Field Sports Scotland, and I'm coming to you with another episode of FSS Chatback. And today we are going to talk about what you should expect in the future in regards to products that are for hunting, for outdoor, whatever the product is. Genuinely, this is like a broad scale. I'm going to talk about the products that I review, but we need to start asking questions. We need to start to be seen to be asking questions, especially reviewers and especially product testers and whatever, of the manufacturers of these products. The only way the technology is going to go forward is for us, you and I, consumers, reviewers, whatever, to be able to feedback this to the manufacturers and tell them how we feel. So that's what today's show is going to be about. I'm going to talk about a little bit of night vision products. We're going to talk about a few others. But first of all, the usual stuff. What I've been up to this week. So this week I have been carrying on culling deer. I've got a few videos up. I've been out doing foxes as well, shooting foxes. I've got some amazing footage that I'm putting together that you will see from the Arkin Optics. And I have pretty much going to be putting that today or tomorrow up on YouTube, so you'll be able to see that. I've also got this new thing, so stay tuned. I am going to tell you details on how you could get yourself a free stock, a free evening, or a free morning with myself. Just go out, let's see if we can go and shoot a deer, or if you just want to go out and see what I get up to, I will put that out to you, and I'll work it. Well, I'll let you know. I'll give you the information at the end of the show in regards to that. So today, what we're talking about, yes. So I review a lot of products, as you know. I've over the years I've done scopes, I've done shooting bags, I've done silly little things, I've done knives, torches, you name it. When it comes to the hunting community, hunting side of things, I've kind of reviewed it. Slee sleds, extraction machines, quad pikes. Do not buy Polaris, I'll explain another time, and various other products. And people go, well, what is the importance of these reviews? We all know that what reviews are tend to used for. Manufacturers throw out a lot of equipment and products to people and say, test this, go on YouTube, advertise it, tell people if it's good, tell people if it's bad, so people have an idea what to expect in the real world. But very few people give their feedback after they purchased a product, and it really just gets left in the ether, because there's a lot of times I have come across guys who have thought, oh, this is an amazing review, I bought the product, I really like it, and then years later they've said, I got fed up with that product, this thing started not working on it, that thing didn't, and I didn't experience this. I like to know what people's experiencing, and I bet you the manufacturer never heard any of this either. So it's important to know what you expect from a product. Now, I've recently had this kind of discussion with Arkin Optics over their 3-12 in regards to the IR light. Now, I understand that they have aimed the scope to an airgun market that predominantly shoots indoors and for ratting or whatever. So a laser IR is not something that you genuinely would want for that. Anyway, an LED IR, you're basically only going to see, I don't know, 20 yards, 30 yards at a time maximum. So you don't really need a high-powered torch to illuminate further distances, even if the scope is capable of that. And this is where the problem lay when regards to my mindset, not the product. There's nothing wrong with the Arkin 3-12, for instance, but it got me questioning who is the target market for a lot of these products. So, for instance, I spoke to Arkin, and they said that they target the 3-12 Arc and Zulus with the LRF and all that for the airgun market, for doing small pest control, pigeons in sheds, rats, various other pests you get. It got me thinking, it's like, well, the product is actually capable of doing a heck of a lot more. And for a little adjustment, for the option to just purchase the laser that you get on or I got on the 520, why is that not an option? Why does it one product that is genuinely suited for quite a vast array of people, is it being aimed at specifically one community, one part of the community? And and it got me thinking, maybe the mindset or maybe the communication from the reviewers or from the people who are purchasing it. Is the communication wrong, going back to ARC and going back to the product developer to say, your product is actually capable of a heck of a lot more than just what you're aiming at the market as? Your product is suitable for deer stalking, like approved, foxing at long range, like approved, rabbiting outside at long range, like approved. It's got far more capabilities than just putting on an air rifle and taking it to a shed. Now, I'm not alienating the air gunning community, because that product is perfect for them too, with the LED light, with the LED IR, sorry. With the laser IR, that product is capable of a heck of a lot more. And yes, you have the ability to attach an external one, but as I said in my previous video, having a full compact unit with everything that is on it, on your rifle, is important. Now, it also got me thinking of what other products are like this. Tripods, for instance, heavy tripods that we like. A lot of tripods are designed for the photography market and the filming market. Now, this camera I'm looking into just now is on a tripod. Not a very expensive one, but it's on a tripod. Now, for quite a number of years, I have been shooting. I moved away from shooting traditional shooting sticks and went to a tripod and hog saddle. Now I've got an Arca rail, that sort of stuff. But the tripod itself fundamentally is the exact same. Yes, you get different styles. You get carbon fiber tubed. You get lightweight ones. You get heavier weight ones. But genuinely, if you've got a decent tripod that is designed to take a £20,000 camera, then it's going to take your couple of £1,000 rifle on it easy, and it's going to give you the same ability. So there's a lot of products that are not just designed, not that I've got a lot more uses than what they are the market they're targeted to, and that, I reckon, is down to the consumer not giving their feedback. And the reviewers as well, myself included. We're so eager to please the manufacturer and to be involved with their journey that we forget to give the right feedback back to them that will actually suit you guys as a consumer. And I think a lot of the miscommunications that are happening out there is because of the fact that you guys as a consumer are not really giving the right feedback to the manufacturer. And it technically is a job like myself to do that. Now, what do we expect? What do we need? What are we going to use it for? And the cost and everything, all of that should be all questions you make. And I say this very often. Very often is bad grammar. I'm full of bad grammar because I've still got this head cold. I say this so often. That's better grammar. I say this so often on my podcasts and on my reviews and that. When you're thinking about a product, first and foremost, think if it's in your budget, if it's right for you, what you do with that product, and how you're going to use it. That's the key elements of purchasing a product. when you look at a review, you want to get an idea of what the capabilities of that product. But remember, you're only getting a snapshot. That product might be fine for me, but might not actually be fine for you. And yeah, it's good to ask questions, and a lot of people just don't ask questions. They just take it on face value, each review that's ever made, that's perfect, and that's what they want to do for their, and that's what they will get out of it. Now, I know plenty of guys who have moved away from thermal scopes, for instance, and went back to night vision, because the night vision products are better than the thermal scopes, and they can use them during the day, and get better clarity and vision and stuff like that. So, and accuracy. Huge difference in accuracy as well, especially in zeroing and setting up. So you've got to start asking these questions, making the right comments to the right people. Now, the day scope market is going through a bit of a change right now, because they are getting very worried. The digital scope market for night day vision, like your Hick Micro Alpexes, your Arkin Zuluses, and your various other brands that are out there, they're kind of moving into that day scope market quite heavily with other functions like recording and stuff like that. And it's not just down to expensive clear glass. It's down to relatively inexpensive sensors now. It's all everything. This camera here, the camera that I'm using is a Sony. It's almost the exact same sensor that's on this camera that will be put into some of your night vision products. So the technology is moving forward, but people are being left behind. Now, I'm not going to say that digital scopes are going to replace traditional day scopes. But the traditional day scope market needs to change. It needs to. There was a huge race for the highest transmissions, for light transmissions, for instance, on glass. And then suddenly there was no race. The tube design hasn't changed in over 100 years. Turret design has, but how turrets are made. But accuracy on how the turns and adjustment elements of adjustment and things like that haven't really changed. Glass has got a little bit clearer. Coatings have been developed to help with clarity. There's scopes are nitrous purged, for instance, to prevent glass fogging, that sort of stuff. But genuinely, the technology in itself hasn't really changed that much in the last 20, 30 years. There's scopes have got a little bit more accurate, change of reticles and stuff like that. But how far can you take the wheel? How much better can you make the wheel? It turns, we put tyres on it, makes it a smoother ride, but genuinely, you're not reinventing anything, and you're not giving anything extra. And the problem with the glass, the clear glass industry, is that it's becoming very, very, like everything, but it's becoming very expensive. It's not becoming cost effective anymore, and that is the struggle that industry has felt, especially when it comes to the shooting industry. Now, I'm going on a bit here in regards to what you should expect as a consumer. What you should expect is greater warranty. If you can't reinvent the wheel, right? This is a fact. This is a hard truth, and people out there, manufacturers, should listen to this advice coming from me as a consumer. If you can't reinvent the wheel, and you can't reduce the cost, you need to increase the service. You need to offer scopes free services every year and a half or 2 years in the first 5-year cycle. You have to increase the guarantees and warranties to 5 years at least, 10 years, lifetime, whatever. You fair usage warranties and fair usage guarantees. You do get a lot of scammers out there who will drop a scope and say and blame it on the manufacturer when it had nothing to do with the manufacturer, right? There should be regular service plans, faster turnarounds, all the things that you would expect when you're paying for a high premium item. And I'm going to say this, and this is not, whether it's a car, a laptop, whether it's a mobile phone, whether it's like, mobile phones are £1,000 these days. You're a laptop, it's really hard to get a decent laptop with good quality components for under £1,000. Your average car, I'm not talking your basic models, but like my pickup, £40,000 brand new, £47,000 brand new. A scope, a day scope, a Swarovski or a Zeiss or whatever, you're talking over £1,000. Pair of binoculars, over £1,000. You're talking big money, and the prices are going up. But I'll tell you what's happening with all of these products. The price is going up, but what you're getting in return for that money is nothing. You're not getting any extras. You're not getting a free service checkup. You're not getting customer service that is like you can speak to someone on the phone. You're getting email services, people working still from home. You're getting sent to call centres so it can be go to this place and this person, and before you know it, there is no face-to-face. There's no speak to the right person on the phone directly. So you're getting less for the amount of money you're spending is up, but you're getting less quality control, and you're getting less aftermarket sales in return. So if the day scope market are insistent to carry on putting the prices up and carrying on providing a service that is, or providing a product that hasn't changed much in the last 20 years, you need to provide a service. And the thing about it is if you don't provide that service, then you're going to lose customers and people are just going to stop buying your products. Now, that doesn't just go for the day scope market. That goes for all the markets. It goes for ATVs, for instance. Polaris has got a shocking after sales. Absolute shocking. Polaris dealers are notorious for ripping you off. Their products are fraught with problems, and fixing those problems is almost impossible sometimes. And I'm not just naming Polaris, there's other people out there that have got the same. Honda have gone through this stage, for instance, in the ATV, where they're not providing anything new, but they're just giving you the same product as, and they're bringing out a new product, but it's got the same technologies it's always had. There's nothing special happening other than the fact that the amount of money as a consumer is going up. Now, this is one of the reasons why I kind of moved to the idea of a lot of these Chinese products that are coming out. Because the price point is low enough for you to understand if there is going to be problems with after sales care. However, I'm finding with like Arkin, for instance, their after sales is unbelievable. I've not had a complaint or heard a complaint of somebody having a problem getting something replaced on their Arkin optic or just getting a new system quite quickly. I've heard a few people that have complained that they purchased something that's not been quite right for them, but that always happens. That happens when you buy a t-shirt that you look nice in the shop until you put it on and realise, crap, I don't really suit this. You know? The Hick Micro, for instance, I've noticed that Hick Micro's after sales is very good. I don't know whether that's because they're relatively newer companies who are trying their best to reinvent the wheel a little bit. But the quality of their products is fantastic. And I'm not going to put them down, because the fact of the matter is they're doing what they're saying on the tin. The problem lies, and I'm going back to this, is what we spoke about earlier. The problem with it all is that you as a customer are not feeding the right information back. The reviewers are so independently minded and focused on what the product is used for their needs that they are probably giving the wrong information back. Now, as I said, for Arkin, I've noticed that it's mainly airgun users who are using these products or reviewing these products. Now, I'm not solely an airgun user. I use it for shooting deer. I use it for shooting foxes, rabbits, whatever. It's a multi-purpose scope. Where I found, and I'm going to put this in my review, and where I found the greatest need for this, because I do deer culling for conservation, for a conservation group. The estate that I work on is owned by conservationists, and I can video behavior. I can log abnormalities. I can collect data, visual data, using these scopes on my rifle now, which is great, because then I can show. If somebody says to me, he says, well, you took a Seeker last week, what did it look like just before you, what was its behavior before you shot it, or before you culled it? I can actually say, well, I've recorded it, here's a record. So I try and record everything that I see, whether it's a fox running about, a pine marten running about, and not necessarily shooting it. Like, there's a video I've put up on the Arkin Global Owners group, which I'll put on Facebook as well. YouTube as well. I had a picture of wild boar. Now, I turn around and tell people I see wild boar all the time, but people don't really listen to me. They go, oh, yeah. And when I say numbers, people really get freaked out about numbers. So they become very dubious, and they start making you question whether they believe you or not. So I took a video. There was 3 adults and 13 piglets. You know, that's I think it was 4 adults and 13 piglets. And I counted that on video. It's literally on video through my scope at 280 odd yards away. When I mentioned, when I reported the size of one that I seen, and when it comes to management, for instance, and the decision on what type of management to do, I can easily produce video evidence, real life, real time evidence, not just me logging on a spreadsheet, what I've seen and what I haven't seen. And that's where I'm finding the beneficial of these newer scopes with recording and with great visibility. And that's one of the things I like about the Hick Micro Habrox. You can do all that on a pair of binoculars. So you technically have a camera on you all the time. Not just a thermal camera that only just shows blurred images or white dots or black dots or whatever, doesn't really give you any detail, or a black and white scope from like the past, like your original pulsars and stuff, where you can't get any details or colors or anything like that. So that's where I see the future is. We need to start, not just to advertise to other people or to show off to other people, but we need to start collecting data of what is happening. I've even used it on, I've benefited from the video recordings, for instance, when you might have you've shot a deer in the engine compartment, and it's ran on for 50-60 yards in the clearfell, and when you get down into the clearfell itself, the whole world changes, and you've lost all sense of direction. And I've used the video to say, right, okay, that was where I shot it from. Yep. All right, okay, right, I'm a wee bit off, and then find it. You know, the dog helps as well, but that's different. Sometimes you just don't have a dog with you. But genuinely, what we're expecting as a consumer these days has changed. We want to be able to look at our hunts afterwards and not just memories. You know, we want the ability to visually see this is what happened. Sure, mate, sure, buddies in the pub. Oh, look at the stag that I saw. I never shot it, but this was huge. Got it in my crosshairs. Now you can prove to them it's in your crosshairs. You know, it's like, look, you see it in the crosshairs. Wow, look at that stag. You know, things like that. Oh, I seen this otter today. I took a video of it and whatever. It does open us up to a little bit more scrutiny as well, and it can be a little bit dangerous. So you have to be careful on what videos you show and how you show it and who your audience is. But for data purposes and for data collection purposes is amazing. So that's just one example of what I expect as a consumer, not as a reviewer, but as a consumer. But when I review a product, I have to have my consumer head on. What I need is people like you guys out there, you guys and girls who are out there in the field with these pieces of equipment and finding problems because they've got different terrain than what I have, or they've got different environmental conditions, or they're just different in any ways. They've got a different firearm. It doesn't react to this fire. I can't have every firearm in the... I wish I could. I can't have every caliber out there. What might work on a 223, 243, 270, 6.5 Creedmoor might not work on a 308 or a 338 Lapua or a 7mm, or whatever. You know, it could be little differences that make a difference to you whether you're going to buy a product as a consumer. So manufacturers need to start looking not to just limit their market to individuals who are giving them the feedback. What they need to do is say, right, okay, we have established it works here. We need to establish what other parts of the sector does it work on. Can it be used? Can this technology be used in other fields, like, for instance, bird watching, or how do we improve grouse counting or bird counting or whatever using the technology that we've got? Can we use it for search and rescue? Can we use it for security? Can we use it for various other different things? The technology is coming along, and it's coming along fast. But likewise with the day scope market, if we can't reinvent it, we can't make it 1 million times better, finer adjustments, or easier to use analogies, building rangefinders into the scope, or building bullet drop compensators into the scope, and taking the multiple uses, the multiple equipment use out of it, and just use rifle and scope. Then you need to start thinking about, well, what other service can we provide? Can we provide increased warranties? Can we provide increased service plans? Can we at least guarantee some decent after sales? You know, can we provide products that go along with this product that actually work? I got an expensive Zeiss flip cap. I've never been able to use it. It lost a little O-ring, and it won't close properly. Things like that, and I can't get another one. So it's just, and they're expensive. They were about £100, you know. So just figure out, if you can't change price points, can't do the things that you're like, you can't make it better, but you're still charging higher. You need to change the services. You need to change what other things that you're offering to make it more beneficial, because that's the only way people are going to buy your product. Anyway, enough about what I've said. So back to what I mentioned at the very beginning. So I have a couple of options. Tell me what your thoughts are. I am going to start kind of doing a prize draw in the next 3-4 weeks. Yeah, give me a 3 weeks time. Where I will put up for grabs. Somebody can come and spend an evening with me, or a morning with me, or a overnight session with me in regards to foxing or shooting deer, or even just come to see what I do. And it would be the case of, you would have to find your own transport and your own accommodation, but I could take you out for the evening and whatever, free of charge. Might even get a chance to shoot a deer or something like that. I'm just going to think about the prizes as come forward. There'll be t-shirts and there'll be hats and stuff like that. I have got the option to do some sort of subscription prize draw thing through my YouTube channel. If anybody is interested in that, just note down in the comments, because to be fair, I would like to get your feedback as well on that. Yeah, just think about what you want when it comes to products, and what feedback you would give companies if you were, say, reviewing a product. Because That's the only way things are going to move forward. Anyway, thanks for listening to another FSS Chatback. Catch you next week, where I will be definitely 100% talking about, get this, reloading. I will be talking about reloading. I will be talking about the benefits, the pitfalls, what you need to get, what you don't need to get, how far you can go with it, all the ins and outs. Bearing in mind, I do reload, but I am not a huge expert in it. There will be plenty of people out there that will talk absolute rubbish about it, think I'm talking rubbish. However, at least I'll get you something, and especially in the equipment that you need and you don't need. Okay, thanks for listening. Happy hunting and stay safe.